The cook who plans dinner for millions of people tonight has never eaten anything. Not once. Not even a cracker. No tongue, no nose. Never hungry, never full. And right now, it's on duty in millions of kitchens. It plans breakfast during your breakfast. It does not get breakfast. So here's the question of this video. How did something with no mouth get good at flavor? Because the answer is hiding somewhere strange. Your own mouth. Yes, yours. Oh, and there's a wine expert in this story who never drank wine. Hold that thought. Let's read this cook's resume out loud. Meals eaten, 0. Spoons licked, 0. Times it burned its mouth on pizza because it could not wait, 0. It has never stood in front of an open fridge at midnight, feeling things. It has never had a favorite. It cannot want seconds. If cilantro tastes like soap to you, that's a real gene. The machine has no genes, no soap, and no opinion. It has read a million descriptions of butter. It has never felt toast. 0 birthdays, 0 birthday cake. Here's the whole resume, honestly. It read every cookbook on earth. That's it. That's the resume. Imagine a food critic who has read everything and eaten nothing. Now imagine him confident. That's who's planning dinner. Now the part that should bother you, it's not bad at this. Back in 2015, IBM taught a computer called Chef Watson 10,000 Bon Appétit recipes, and Watson started inventing dishes. One was a chocolate burrito. People cooked it. People liked it. Watson also invented a Bengali butternut barbecue sauce. That is a real sentence from the real 2015. A journalist let Watson pick their dinners for a whole week and lived to write about it. Today, 1 in 5 Americans asks ChatGPT for cooking help. Dietitians who test its meal plans keep coming back with the same slightly annoyed verdict. Honestly, fine, sometimes good. A cook with no tongue keeps passing taste tests. That should be impossible. So how? The obvious answer, it read everything. And when you read everything, words start making a map. Crispy lives next to fried. Lemon hangs out with fish. Caramel and onions show up together so often the machine decides they're friends. Which, by the way, they are. Garlic turns out to be friends with nearly everything. Even ice cream if you go looking. Please don't go looking. Food has patterns. Your grandma knew them by hand. The machine knows them by word. Every cookbook on earth squeezed into math. Mystery solved, right? It memorized our recipes so it can remix our recipes. A very fast library wearing an apron. That's what I thought too. For years, honestly. Case closed. Except that answer has a hole in it, and the hole is the size of your mouth. It didn't just read the recipes, it read the comments. Think about what a cookbook cannot tell you. Whether the soup came out bland. You know who tells you that? 500 strangers under the recipe. Too salty. Cut the sugar in half. My kids refused. Added garlic. Perfect. Recipes say what should taste good. Comments say what did. One data set the machines learned from, 180,000 recipes, and 700,000 reviews of how those recipes actually went. Real dinners, real verdicts, real tongues. So no, the cook has no tongue. It's been borrowing 500,000 of them. And if you ever rated a recipe online, one of them is yours. Which brings us back to the wine expert. Researchers actually built one. They fed a computer more than 800,000 wine reviews, plus tasting notes from 256 real people. Now it predicts how a wine will taste, what humans will say about it, without one single sip. Not because it has a palate, because we do. And we kept writing it down. Every star rating, every meh, every perfect, making it again. That was us, teaching machines what delicious means. We've been running the world's biggest taste test for 20 years. Nobody told us. So, 2 takeaways. First, when an AI recipe tastes a little off, it is not broken. It's averaging. 500,000 tongues can agree on pretty good. They cannot agree on unforgettable. Your grandma's weirdly salty cookies? Outvoted. So taste, then overrule. Salt is not a democracy. Second, those comments you leave, they are not shouting into the void. They're the textbook. Write the honest ones. And that's the honest place to tell you how we build Recipy. We use AI too. The difference? Ours is grounded in real, tested recipes. Dishes real people actually cooked. And when a recipe is AI generated, it's labeled right on it. No fake tasting, no fake authors. Other apps run on your phone. Recipy runs your kitchen, and your tongue stays in charge. The cook still hasn't eaten that cracker. But tonight, in millions of kitchens, it will be mostly right about dinner. Because somebody like you once typed, needs more garlic. Thank you for your service. Tomorrow, the person who was paid to bake 40 bad banana breads so yours works, and why that job is disappearing.
Subscribe. Long-form explainers, weekday afternoons.